Welcome back. In this section, we will learn about building our to-do list container component. So currently, I'm in the directory containing our source code. I'll bring in the terminal and we'll type the command to open the code editor in the current directory. So here is my code editor. So if you go to the terminal and type npm start command, it will start our front-end application and we will be able to see the app that we built previously. So this is the header, this is the content, and this is the footer of our application. So next we are going to build a to-do list container component. I'm going to call it to-do app. So in our layout.js, this is what we have defined. I'm going to create a new file and I'm going to call it to-do app.js. I'll copy code from my app component and paste it here. I'll call it to-do app. So I'll rename the app to to-do app. So inside our to-do app component, we'll remove this and give it a class name of to-do app. So inside our to-do app component, I'll have a div just to name it to-do app. And other than div, we will also have a to-do list here. So this will show a list of to-do items that we have in our application. So as we decided initially that we will have a list of items as our state. So we are going to use state hook from React. So I'm just going to import it. Okay, so here is how you create or define the state of your application. Const to do items. The second item would be a function that we can use to set our to do items. So I'm going to call it set to do items. And then we are going to use the hook useState, and I'm going to provide it an initial value. This will be an empty array initially. Okay, so we'll also need the functions to update our state. So for example, I'll have a function called add to do item. So the user will provide the item. We'll call this function, and at this function, what this function would do is that it will change our state. So to change the state, we will call set to do items. This what we defined over here. And inside to do items, we have to add this newly created to do items in our state. So for that, I'm going to use ES6 syntax dot dot dot. This is called the spread operator. I'm going to spread the to do items list and add the new item in this array. So the result would be the previous array with this new item. This will change our state and it will cause our app to re-render, and hence the to-do items will be updated. Similarly, we'll have a function remove to-do item. It will also receive an item, and what it will do is it will filter all the items except this item. So this item would be, and we'll set the state to the filtered array. So essentially, this item will be removed from the array. So let's call it new items. So we'll filter the items array to do items dot filter. We will pass an item object, and we are going to add a condition that if item ID is not equal to the passed in item.id, So it is going to filter all those elements for which the ID is not the same. So as a result, all the items will be copied in this new items array except this passed in item. So after that, we'll set the state, and inside this, we'll just pass the new items array. So this will change our state. The component will be re-rendered in this to-do items list. This item won't be in this to-do items list. So this item would be deleted. So as our to-do application will have to-do items, and the status of to-do items will be changed. For example, if there is some item that's pending, I want to mark it complete. So I would like to change the state of that specific item and would want that to be reflected on the UI. So for that, we will need another function. We'll call it change item status. So I'll pass in the item. So what we are going to do is we are going to check the status of item. So I'll call it item.status. If it is equal to pending, so we would like to change it to completed. So I'll set item.status is equals to completed. And if the status was completed, we would change it to pending. I'm using ternary operator here. This is the true case condition. So if the condition is true, this statement will be executed, and if this condition is false, this statement will be executed. So once we change the status of the passed in item, would like to change that in our state also. So for that, what we are going to do is we are going to first delete this item from the state and then add the updated item into the state. So I'm just going to call it let other items. So this array would contain all the other elements except this item. So I'm going to do the same thing as we did in the previous function, remove to do item. I'm going to filter this to do items dot filter. So we are passing a item dot id not equal to item dot id. Okay. And once we have deleted this item, we would like to add this updated item into this array. So we are going to set the state, set to do items, and inside it, we are going to do the same thing as we did in this. So we are going to copy this statement. I'll just paste it here. First, we'll apply the spread operator on other items, and we would also like to add this updated item in this state array. So these are the functions that we are going to need: add to do item, remove to do item, and change the status of a to do item. In next video, we will create the to do list component.